Hey, what's up guys? This is JD Rich coming back at you with another One Piece video and discussion. Today, I wanted to talk about the ending and aftermath of 1162, specifically regarding the panel with Rocks, aka Davy D. Zebek, with Davy D. Zebek, Whitebeard, and Kaido all facing off against Emu Saturn. Now, what's crazy is this. Looking at this panel, we obviously know there's going to be a major clash and battle that takes place right here and there. And what I'm wondering are two things. One, will Roger and Garp step in and assist him? Number two, how will this fight go? Like, seriously though, because when you look at things, right? All three of these men facing off against Emu, they're all Conqueror's Haki users. But clearly, Zebek is the better user of Conqueror's Haki. He's clearly like at a more masterful level than Whitebeard and Kaido would be. So what I'm wondering is, how do they plan on damaging Emu? How do they plan on really facing off against this entity like that? Let alone if it was just Saturn by himself. Like, how would it go if it was just Saturn by himself, not possessed by Emu? But we got Emu possessing Saturn. So obviously this is not going to be, even if it was just Saturn alone, it wouldn't be no cakewalk. But understand this. This is obviously going to come down to Conqueror's Haki in terms of how you would hurt this enemy. But Rocks is potentially the only one, like, as far as we've seen him depicted, Rocks can potentially be the only one who's depicted to actually be able to do damage to Emu. And what I'm wondering is this: will Rocks actually reveal some new ways of using your Conqueror's Haki techniques as far as it goes to, in regards to teaching Whitebeard and Kaido? Like, hey, you guys, I need you to go all out. And regardless of them going all out, it's a way you use it and it's a way you use it and control it and wield your Conqueror's Haki when going all out. Like, yeah, you can just go all out with a Conqueror's Haki attack, but what technique did you have behind enforcing it on your opponent or enemy? So for right now, I can only see Rocks potentially having the means and wherewithal to damage Emu, even if it's just a little damage. I just picture Rocks having the only means to do so by that. What can the other two do in providing backup? Like, I'm pretty sure they can provide their own ways of backup as far as like doing attacks anyway that may stall Emu off or ward him off, for Rocks to, like, you know, I guess get a good blow, take him down, or just be able for their crew to get away. Because I don't think they're not running from this fight, obviously. But when Emu starts unfolding when Emu starts unfolding his bag of abilities, man, who knows what they're gonna need in order to, like, take a stand against this. Because for some reason, I got a feeling that this is where Kaido may meet his demise. Remember, Big Mom bragged about saving Kaido's life at God Valley. And also, Big Mom has like the soul fruit. So what if Emu damaged Kaido, right? Not only physically, but also did something with Kaido's soul to where he was actually dying. Like, the same way Emu killed Saturn, what if Emu attempts that same way of death on Kaido, and Big Mom actually uses her devil fruit in order to save him? What if that's the case? Because obviously he took his devil fruit from her. A lot of people used to think that, you know, I think we all used to think that Big Mom, the way she implied giving him the fish fruit, model koi, whatever, the Azure Dragon, like the way it was implied that she gave him his fruit, it was implied as if she gave him that devil fruit to save his life. But we clearly see that he actually just took it from her because one, she wasn't exactly going to keep her word as far as getting him a powerful devil fruit. So he went ahead and just took matters into his own hands, knocked her with his kanabo, you know what I'm saying, knocked her upside the head, and just took the fruit. Now we got Azure Dragon Kaido. But how did she end up saving his life? And if she did end up saving his life, was the result of that coming into play from the battle that he had fighting Emu? Because I would imagine a rookie Kaido I can imagine Emu packing him up early. Whitebeard, maybe so. Rocks, it'd be troublesome, but probably Rocks too. However, I still believe that Rocks may have the only means to damage Emu at this time. Maybe Roger and Garp can too, because Roger and Garp, they seem like they would catch on quick if it came to learning new abilities as far as using your will of conquerors to damage an enemy. After all, you're looking at the top four right here of the old era. The top four of the old era. You got Garp, you got Roger, you got Whitebeard, and you got Zebek. Now, what's wrong with me, man? Whitebeard and Zebek are both clearly standing side by side, ready to fight. But then you got Roger and Garp off somewhere, not far, but close by somewhere, witnessing this all happen. So, how does this battle go? Really, how does this go? And if somebody is getting packed up, will it be Kaido first? More than likely. And what will Zebek do to help them out, to make them understand, like, yo, we can damage him if we do this? Is it going to be a case where they all combine their attacks? Which more than likely will happen, but one person is going to be using more advanced ability out of the other two, and we know who that is. We know that that's going to be Rocks. So will Rocks actually teach them new techniques mid-battle, like against Emu? And on top of that, look at this. We know Zebek wanted to essentially take over the world, rule the world, right? And in the latest chapter, Zebek looked at Emu as the world itself. What is that, bro? Like that resonates so deeply when you think about it, because Emu is essentially the king of the world, the unspoken king of the world, the unknown king of the world. Rocks called him the world itself. And I think that resonates and correlates with the fact that Emu manipulates the whole world itself from behind closed doors and on a throne that nobody is supposed to sit upon. So in a way, Emu represents the world as in a form of the good and bad that goes with it. The good is in a form of what Emu believes is good and what people should interpret as good, but the evil of Emu, the bad, is basically Emu manipulating the events of the world, how things should go, who should suffer, who should not suffer, who should be worthy, who should not be worthy, but also playing that little game. You know, that black and white dot game that Emu plays? That is essentially the way that Emu plays with the world. Emu in a way may view the world itself as that little board game that he plays, and he controls the outcome and the events of what's what and who's who and how things get done. Now, Emu is both man and woman. I think Emu is unisex. However, Emu represents the worst of humanity and essentially the best, but the best comes with some hypocritical complications of moral significance. But moving on, man, Emu representing the world itself, as if like Emu basically is essentially the world, but the worst faction of the world. They say it's a beautiful, ugly world. Emu is essentially the beautiful, ugly of the world. So, I got to do some more research behind Emu, man. There's only so much that's been given about them. Like the fact that they're Nerona, the fact that they knew Nefertari D. Lily and have a grudge against her, for actually spreading the poneglyphs. So, Emu is essentially, in a way, trying to basically bring the world back under his reign, back under their heel, you know what I'm saying? And people like Rocks are a threat to that. However, Rocks wanted to rule the world itself, but I think Rocks' rule of the world was centered around chaotic anarchy, like freedom of anarchy. He wants everybody to do what they want to do, but at the cost of chaos just being everywhere. Whereas Emu wants to rule the world to have people just subjugated under authority. Now, going back into this battle, who's going to do what? How's it going to happen? And the thing is, I still believe that Roger and Garp may interfere. Roger and Garp may actually interfere. And this may be a part where if Rocks doesn't get, because people are predicting that Rocks somehow comes under the mind subjugation of Emu, basically a domi reversi, like a demonic coral contract. Rox gets turned into a demon, and then Roger and Garp have to team up to take him down. But I personally don't think that's the case. I think Rox's will is too strong for him to get taken over by Emu. Because after all, given that Rox is a Davy clan member, right? Why is it that the other Davy clans, the other members of the clan, why is it that they were turned into a demon and not Rox the Zebek? I think that comes down to the willpower of specific Davy clan member. Rox's will was too strong to be broken by Emu's demonic manipulations. So with that being said, Rox is literally he's the hope of the Davy clan. I mean, you could say Blackbeard is too, because he's the living member of it. In a way, you know what? In a way, you could say Blackbeard is the hope of the Davy clan. But right now, it looks as Rox is that hope at this very moment, considering this battle that they have to face off against. So, will Kaido and Whitebeard be a help? They will, but it might not be to the extent that we think. Like, I can imagine them both getting wounded in this chapter. Like, if not by Emu, just, you know, in general. Well, yeah, by Emu. Like, come on now. What will Emu do in Saturn? Like, this, I gotta admit, Emu looks crazy right now possessing Saturn. Because Emu himself just looks like a big spider with, you know, his presence on Saturn. But what will happen? How amplified and OP is Saturn right now with Emu possessing him? And on top of that, the Conqueror's Haki. The Conqueror's Haki has to be on point by the next chapter we get. We have to see that clearly these guys can hold their own. Because Kaido and Whitebeard, I'm assuming that they can use Conqueror's Haki, but clearly not to the abilities that Zebek can. Hence why they lost the Davy backfights against him and joined up with him in the first place. Now, with them going up against Emu, Zebek has to unveil us some new Haki ideas. We have to learn something from Zebek. And even Roger and Garp, like we may actually see something from them. They may actually step in and fight some Oni possessed people in order to get through to what's going on. Because I assume Roger is excited. Roger is also curious. So why wouldn't Roger interfere with this battle? We may actually see a temporary alliance between Garp, Roger, Whitebeard, Kaido, and Zebek. We may see a temporary alliance that may involve them taking on Emu, but it gets broken up. Like, let's say if they do hold their own against Emu, right? But Emu has other interests that also call attention to his mind, whether that be at the Holy Land or at this tournament, this called off God Valley tournament. So let's say Emu goes off to handle other things like mid-battle and leaves them to their own. What would have caused Garp and Roger to team up against Zebek? What happens? Like, that's what everybody is trying to learn. What happens? But everybody is speculating that Zebek gets taken over. Now, if Zebek does get taken over by Emu, and that forces Roger and Garp to team up, I'm not exactly, like, I don't really have a problem with that, but I think there's something better than that that's going to actually cause Roger and Garp to join forces in order to take down Rox. I could see the idea of Zebek getting taken over, but a part of me says that his will is too strong for that. He'd rather die than to be turned into some type of slave for Emu via the Domi Reversi, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? The demon contract coral. I can see Rox unleashing Haki to the point where he might actually damage Emu. Let's not sleep on Rox's Haki master abilities. How did he come to master such Conqueror's Haki to the level that he has? We don't know. But him being able to do the things that he does, he is essentially the best candidate for this fight. I'm not even saying Rox is going to beat Emu, but in order to hold his own and contend with him, Rox is definitely going to be that guy to do so. Will the others backing him up make a difference? It slightly will, but I just don't see it unless Rox somehow teaches them a new technique where he's basically telling them how to do something, right? And they instantly just pick up on it through practice blows against Emu, and they finally learn, okay, so this is how I advance my conquerors. And maybe the same thing for Roger and Garp. They may actually inherently know how to do it, and they may just learn by action and advance their stuff by action. But Whitebeard and Kaido, they're going to have to possibly learn the same way, but with Zebek's help telling them how to do so. So, you know, I'm very curious about how this fight is going to go. I don't know how we will see this unfold. And I still don't think that Zebek will get his mind taken over by Ema. I don't think he's going to get control. But I think it may come down to something else involving his clan lineage as far as it ties back to Davy D. Jones. So we may even get Davy Jones mentioned in the next chapter. Like, what if Emu brings up Davy Jones? So you never know what to expect, man. But yeah, I just wanted to go on a quick tangent about that. That's all I wanted to bring you guys today. Let me know your thoughts, because I'm curious. What do you think about that? About how this fight will go? Who do you think is going to get packed up? Who do you think will make the biggest difference? Because we obviously know Zebek will, but like, to what extent? And to what extent can the others help him in this fight? Because I got the feeling that Roger and Garp may interfere. This may, like, why wouldn't they? Like, why not? What reason could they have not to interfere? Because I don't think Roger wants to see Rox just killed by like anybody. Not that Roger even wants to kill Rox, but I think Roger sees Garp as sees Zebek as a necessary rival in a way. So yeah, we got a lot to unpack. We got more to unpack as the story goes on as far as this chapter, because this is the greatest flashback that we've ever seen in the story. Like, hands down, this is essentially the greatest flashback and the greatest arc that we have yet ever encountered in One Piece history. I'm JD Rich, man. I'm signing off. And remember, guys, a piece of life is life in One Piece. Peace.